so dangerous? What makes him so dangerous? What makes Canelo so dangerous?
What's going on, you guys? So Jermall Charlo, as we all know, had just got his fight postponed with Selecki. And it's not necessarily a fight that boxing fans was checking for, right? It's not nothing that we was really looking for, but it's a fight that he was supposed to have on Juneteenth. It's not happening now. But Jermall Charlo has some things to say about fellow guys like Caleb Plant and David Benavidez, guys that boxing fans been wanting to see him fight for the better part of almost 2 years now. They've been kind of circling around each other. Jermall Charlo's been hinting at the idea of facing these type of guys, but when it comes to putting the pedal to the metal, he don't want to see him to do so. So, yeah, it's starting to look kind of like Jermall Charlo really don't want to fight anybody with a pulse. Of course, there's Demetrius Andrade still lingering around at 160 pounds with a title. There's Gennady Golovkin, but Jermall Charlo comes out and says that he wants to fight the Canelo Triple G 3 winner, but is Canelo Alvarez going to fight Jermall Charlo at this point? He may or may not fight Jermall Charlo. Last time we seen Jermall Charlo was almost 2 years ago against Juan Montiel in a fight where, well, one may say Jermall Charlo probably had his roughest night out against an unheralded Juan Montiel, right? And it's been quite some time since we've seen him since then. He's supposed to fight Selecki on a return on Juneteenth, but, the reception for that fight was It wasn't what he was looking for. I'll tell you that. Boxing fans didn't receive that fight too well. They didn't care about hearing about that fight at all. They didn't want to see Jermall Charlo fight Selecki. This is just not who fans wanted to see him fight. But Jermall Charlo wants to go into a fight with Canelo Alvarez Triple G. I think he should go. In order for him to do that, he has to move up to 168 pounds first. And yeah, in regards to Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, guys that he likely would have to face in order to probably get a Canelo fight, he calls them stepping stones. And he says this: it makes me want to whoop their ass, but there's nothing I can do about it. See, that's the interesting take on it. It makes me want to whoop their ass, but there's nothing I can do about it. Bro, you're on the same side of the street. There's only an 8-pound difference. You was a big 160-pounder. You've been at middleweight for 5 years now. You don't got a credible name on your resume. Why don't you go up to 168 pounds? David Benavidez has been calling you a pussy, a bitch, everything under the sun. Caleb Plant said he'll fight you. Go up to 168 pounds and test those guys. If you want to fight Canelo, that's what you're going to have to do anyway. Then he says, it's a big fight for Canelo in regards to himself fighting Canelo. He can't overlook it. He can't just say it. It's nothing going on for. Wait. He can't just say it's nothing going on for. It's a big fight for Canelo. Him fighting me, the world wants to see it. I'm down to see it, or I'll have to blow my chances fighting David Benavidez. He ain't got nothing either. I would be the biggest fight for him too. I don't know what the fuck that was, you guys. I'm sorry if that sounded kind of fucked up. It sounded messed up to me reading it too. I damn near gonna have to read it again, but I'm not about to read that nonsense again. Jermall Charlo been talking in circles, playing this mental gymnastics with this word salad shit for a long fucking time now. We want to see you fight some damn body, bro. The last time I seen him look good, and he looked really good in this fight, was against Sergey Derevyanchenko. He looked phenomenal in that fight. Then he could have carried that momentum to another fight and then fought a bigger fight right at the end. Nah, he didn't do that at all. We haven't seen Jermall Charlo in almost 2 years, and now he got a back injury, right? So one main question is his body still the same? Is he breaking down? Is he getting older? He's having back injuries and shit. Or it could be a clever way to pull out of that meaningless fight that nobody wanted to see in the first place to get a bigger fight, this year. Because nobody was checking for that fight, man. And then he says this: I'm the biggest fight for any boxer out right now. I wish I had stopped the cap button.
Stop the cap.
Because right now, nobody haven't seen you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's seen you. They gonna forget about you. Jermall Charlo is now the big Charlo, bro. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm the biggest fight for any boxer out right now. I'm one of the biggest boxers out there. Now, he's one of the biggest. It will make any fight better. Why not go ahead and take the real risk and fight Canelo where I could put it all on the line rather than fighting David Benavidez, who has nothing to offer. See, and then he comes out and says something like that, right? He says, yeah, me and David Benavidez, yeah, that fight can happen. Yeah, sometime next year. Yeah, I'll fight David Benavidez. He ain't nothing to me. Fuck David Benavidez. Yeah, it can happen next year. And then he says, yeah, well, why would I fight him and risk it all fighting him when I can just go straight to Canelo fight? Come on, bro. Are you kidding me? Why not go ahead and take the real risk and fight Canelo where I could put it all on the line rather than fight David Benavidez, who has nothing to offer? David Benavidez had quite a bit to offer at this point. David Benavidez is, since y'all first really start beefing, he has increased his profile quite a bit. He's labeled a Mexican monster now, and he got a pretty nice fan base. He packs the house in Arizona. So I mean, David Benavidez is on his way, and yeah, it'd be better for you to hop on him sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? Because he has time on his side, my friend. I still fight his ass and use him as a stepping stone to get to Canelo if that's what they want me to do. But they're not setting that up. See, he says all this stuff like he wants to fight whoever, he'll fight whoever, but then he'll put it in the face of his management. He'll put it on the shelves of the management team to, oh, well, I'll just fight whoever they put in front of me, bro. And I'm not a matchmaker, bro. He's been saying these same excuses for years. I'm not a matchmaker, bro. But then they act like they bosses. So you can't have it both ways, bro. Are you the boss or is somebody else your boss, bro? Are you calling the shots or is somebody else calling the shots, bro? Because when it comes to Jermall Charlo getting his feet put to the fire to fight some of these guys that we want to see him fight, then it's always get put off on somebody else, the management team and shit like that, bro. We ain't branding over here on this side of the internet, dog. He says, if I could challenge myself against Canelo, somebody like Canelo, no matter what, I go down in history. You knows that's going to be a way tougher fight than he thinks it is. I mean, of course, Canelo, that's going to be a tough fight for Canelo, but I mean, Canelo's not really checking for you right now, bro. So what you going to do in the meantime, right? What we learned about Canelo Alvarez over the past several years is that Canelo's not going to do nothing he don't want to do. He's not going to do nothing he don't want to do. So what you going to do? You got to go knock out his opposition. Go take care of guys like Benavidez, right? Caleb Plant, that'd be cool too for an introduction fight to 168. But Benavidez is the one he probably wants you to take care of, bro. It sounds crazy, I know, but I mean, look, David Benavidez has been calling you out for years. Y'all been kind of talking back and forth amongst each other. Y'all had a little face off at the fight. You know what I'm saying? The crowd and all that. I mean, why don't y'all go fight now? Nah, well, we'll probably fight sometime in 2023. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, come on, bro. Then he'll get on the camera, act like he wants to fight these guys. But then in the same note, he'll put it in the hands of his management team. He's been at 160 for 5 years now, bro. And he ain't got not one marquee name, not one unification fight, not nothing there, nothing going on, bro. Not now, nothing going on at 160 pounds. He's one of the faces at 160 pounds, right? It ain't nothing cracking with Jermall Charlo. He's one of the guys that I believe that can make some shit happen at 160 pounds, but he ain't making shit happen. So what makes us believe that he's going to go up to 168 pounds and make something happen with these quote-unquote stepping stones? He ain't even showing us that he wanted to fight Boo Boo Andrade at 160 yet. So what makes you believe he wants to go up to fight those guys at 168 pounds? The Mexican monster, David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, sweet hands. Do you want to go up there and fight those guys for real or not, Jermall? Because little bro surpassed you now. Jermall is now considered the big Charlo, the lion Charlo, the one that's willing to fight everybody, the pound for pound Charlo. Jermall is now. He is no longer in your shadow, big bro. So what you go do? Then he says this. I'm not necessarily worried about what they say and what they think. They're going to have to see me one day. So if Plant wants that, let's get it. I mean, shit, why not? Come on, Plant. None of these fighters pose a threat to me. As long as Jermall Charlo stays on top of his game, there's nobody that can stop me. Man, he talks so good. It sounds so good, but when it's time for him to really press the gas, he put it in the hands of his management. Talking about they ain't setting these fights up. Why aren't they setting these fights up? Are you asking for these fights? You know what I'm saying? He says, If I go up to 168, Plant is just going to be a stepping stone to fight Canelo or somebody. They may as well just give me Canelo. It's all about the handlers now. Social media. The fans do not call the fights anymore. Obviously, the fans are picking the fights. The big fights are coming through rankings, belts, and all kinds of other things. This is the new school era. They know Jake Paul before they know Benavidez. This is the era of boxing that we live in now. It's not about the best fighting the best. It's about the most popular being the most popular. That's not going to be popular amongst boxing fans hearing that, right? You heard what he just said. So that's the mentality of him. That's just the mentality that he's on. He don't really care about fighting the best and the toughest guys. He just wants to fight the most popular guy. And that just so happens to be Canelo Alvarez. Then he says this. Now they want me to go to 168. Now they're talking about me going to 175. I guess it's part of boxing. It's a new era right now. Weight divisions stopped mattering when Floyd Mayweather Canelo fought at 154. After that, Canelo said, you're going to fight me at the weight that I want to fight at. So weights don't really matter. If you got little guys fighting big guys fighting little guys. If I go up, I go up. If I'm down to go up, that's the biggest middleweight in the world. So how they're going to look at me? When my brother's ready to come to 160, I'm going to get out of his way. You're going to fight me at the weight that I want to fight at. So weights don't matter. You got little guys fighting big guys and big guys fighting little guys. If I got to go up, I'm down to go up. That's the biggest middleweight in the world. So how they're going to look at me? When my brother is ready to come to 160, I'm going to get out of his way. He's going to get out all the belts in 160, then they're going to make history again and again. I mean, that sounds good for your brother, because your brother is talking the talk and he's walking the walk. You at 160 and you ain't really tried to unify at all. You've been there for 5 years, bro. Not even an attempt to unify the division. Of course, the whole situation with Canelo and the WBC years ago, but I'm not gonna keep beating on that dead horse. What you gonna do now? Right? We see how the politics of boxing work. We see how things tend to favor Canelo Alvarez. So what you gonna do? I think a huge notch on his belt will be to go after David Benavidez. But it's almost like pulling teeth to get this dude to fight that guy. You know, he don't really want to fight him when the push comes to shove. And that's just what it is, man. But he says that fans do not call the fights now. It's not about the best fighting the best. It's about the popular fighting the most popular. And that's just the mentality of Jermall Charlo, you guys. And that's all I got for you today. Tell me what you guys think. Jermall Charlo says Caleb Plant and David Benavidez are stepping stones for Canelo Alvarez. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.